My fiancée planned a Vegas monkey ride with her male best friend, so I threw myself a party inviting the one person he hates most. Chaos ensued. Her trip was canceled, and I finally walked away from the drama that I never thought I'd hear the words monkey ride in a serious adult conversation. But here we are. My fiancée, Emma, walked into the living room holding her phone like she was announcing a national holiday. So, she said, all excited, my bachelorette party is going to be a monkey ride in Vegas with Tyler. I blinked. A monkey ride? She grinned. It's this VIP experience where you zip line through the indoor rainforest at the Mirage and then take pictures with live monkeys. Tyler found it. He already booked the tickets. Tyler, her male best friend, the same guy who once told me, to my face, that if Emma had met him first, she might not have settled. Wonderful man. I took a slow breath. Just you two? No, she said, waving her hand. The girls are coming too. But Tyler's, like, the planner. And I want him there. He understands my vibe better than you do. I had no idea what that meant. And you're okay with that? She asked, already preparing her counterargument. I just nodded. Sure. Good luck. She froze a little. She expected jealousy, a speech, a fight. Instead, I went back to my laptop like she'd told me she was going bowling. Seriously? She asked. You're fine with me going with Tyler? Go have fun, I said. Enjoy your monkey ride. She didn't know what to do with that answer. She actually looked disappointed I didn't explode. But here's the thing. If she wanted a wild trip, she could have it. And so could I. She walked away muttering, You're acting way too calm. Maybe I was. But that evening, I started planning something I knew she would not expect. Not in a million years. If she got to have her version of a bachelorette party, then I would throw mine. And I would invite the one group of people who made Tyler, her male best friend, extremely uncomfortable. Her reaction would come later. But Tyler's? Tyler's would come first. And that's when everything would begin to fall apart. Emma spent the next week acting smug. She'd walk around humming, texting Tyler nonstop, sending me ideas for her Vegas lineup like I was her event manager, not her fiancé. Do you think I should get matching silk robes with the girls? Tyler said we should book the premium cabana. He has connections. Should I get a white bikini or gold? Tyler thinks gold. Every time she said, Tyler thinks, a tiny part of me died, but I kept the same smile. Do whatever you want, I'd answer. And I meant it, because by then, my plan was already rolling. My party? It was simple. I didn't plan a strip club. I didn't plan a casino weekend. I didn't plan anything wild. No, I invited her sister. Emma's younger sister, Hannah, the one woman Tyler absolutely hated. Not because they ever dated, but because she rejected him years ago, and he never recovered. But here's the thing. Hannah and I had always gotten along. Not in a flirty way, just genuinely. She was smart, blunt, and allergic to drama. She also loved exposing Tyler's lies, which made her practically radioactive in Emma's friend group. So I texted her, Hey, I'm throwing myself a small party since Emma's going to Vegas. Want to come? Nothing crazy. Just food, drinks, and friends. Her response came in 10 seconds. Absolutely. Someone needs to make sure Emma isn't marrying an idiot. Tell me when. I laughed. She always talked like that. I sent out more invites. Coworkers, my cousins, my brother and his wife, a normal crowd. And I made a group chat with everyone. Emma saw me texting all week. She asked, What are you planning? I shrugged. Nothing big. Just a little send-off. That was enough to make her suspicious. The night before her trip, Emma stood in the doorway, arms crossed. I told Tyler you're doing a party too, she said. Okay, I replied. He said it's weird for a guy to throw a bachelorette-style event. Are you sure you're not trying to compete? I just smiled. No competition. Have fun in Vegas. She didn't like that answer at all. My party day. When Hannah arrived, everything shifted. She looked incredible, not in a romantic way, but in a way that said she knew damn well her presence alone caused chaos. She hugged me. Congrats on surviving my sister long enough to get engaged. My friends laughed. I laughed. She didn't mean it cruelly. That was just her humor. We grilled, had drinks, played games. It was chill, fun, relaxed. And then, around 9 p.m., my phone lit up. Emma. 14 missed calls. Then a text from her. Why is Hannah at your party? I raised an eyebrow. I hadn't told her anything, but someone in our house definitely told Tyler, and Tyler definitely told Emma. Seconds later, another message. Tell her to leave. Now. Another. Tyler's furious. He said she's toxic. Another. Why would you invite someone who hates my best friend? My entire party heard my phone buzzing nonstop. My brother joked, "Dude, is a small government trying to reach you?" I ignored the texts. I wasn't doing anything wrong. But Emma? She spiraled. Because 10 minutes later, my phone rang again. This time it was Tyler. He never calls me. I showed Hannah the caller ID. She smirked. "Oh, this is going to be good." I answered on speaker. "Why is she there?" Tyler snapped. "Do you know what kind of drama you're starting?" I looked at Hannah. She mouthed, "Put me on." I handed her the phone. She said sweetly, "Hey Tyler, miss me?" There was a full 2 seconds of silence. Then he hung up. My entire party broke into laughter. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. Not even close. Because the moment Tyler hung up, Emma sent a final message. "We canceled the Vegas trip. I'm coming home. Do not let Hannah leave." And that's when things officially blew up. Update. Emma showed up faster than I expected. Hair messy from rushing. Makeup half done like she tried to fix herself in the Uber. She didn't even knock. She stormed straight inside like she owned the building. Everyone at the party went silent. She scanned the room, saw Hannah sitting on the couch eating chips like she lived there, and her face turned the color of a Wi-Fi router overheating. "You." She pointed directly at her sister. Hannah blinked. "Me?" "Yes. Welcome to the party you weren't invited to." "Chips." Emma ignored her completely and turned to me. "What the hell is this?" she demanded. "I told you I wasn't okay with her being here." I kept my voice calm. "It's my party. I invited the people I want around. But you know Tyler can't stand her," she yelled, like that was a universal law. "That sounds like a Tyler problem," I said. She actually stomped her foot, like a toddler. Then she hissed, "You're ruining everything." Tyler said inviting her was disrespectful. Hannah snorted, loudly. "Oh no," she said sarcastically. "You disrespected King Tyler of Vegas by inviting me." A tragedy. People at the party tried not to laugh. Some failed. Emma spun back toward me, eyes wide with betrayal. "This is supposed to be our engagement season," she said. "And you're letting my sister humiliate me in front of everybody." I replied, "You started planning a Vegas trip with your male best friend without even asking me. That didn't feel like our engagement season either." Silence. She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. "It's different," she insisted. "How?" I asked. "Because that was my party." "So is this," I said. She shook her head. "You did this on purpose. You're trying to sabotage my trip." And then she said it. The line that changed everything. "I swear, sometimes I think Tyler should have been the one I got engaged to. He understands me better than you do." The entire room froze. Someone in the back whispered, "Yikes." I stood up slowly. Hannah stared at her sister. Stunned. My brother muttered, "Oh hell no." Emma realized what she'd said too late. Her hands flew to her mouth. I didn't mean. But I'd already heard it. "Okay," I said softly. "Then go to Vegas with him." She shook her head rapidly. "No, the trip's canceled. Tyler said he won't go anywhere if she's involved." Hannah raised her hand. "Hi, that's me. I exist." Emma glared at her. "This is exactly why." Then she turned back to me. "Let's just leave," she said. "We'll talk privately." "Actually," I said, "I think we're done." Her eyes widened. "What? Because I canceled a trip?" "No," I said calmly. "Because you told me another guy understands you better. Because you prioritized him over us. Because you went nuclear over your sister being in the same room as me." Hannah whispered, "Facts." Emma looked around, realizing every witness in the room had seen her meltdown. She lowered her voice. "Please don't do this," she said quietly. I felt threatened. I thought you'd get mad about the trip, so I used Tyler to feel important." "That's the problem," I said. "You use Tyler for everything." Her eyes filled with tears. "Can we fix this?" she whispered. Before I could answer, Hannah stood and said, "Emma, maybe you should go home and think about why you're fighting harder for Tyler's feelings than your own fiancé's." Emma stared at the floor, breathing shakily. "I'll call you tomorrow," she said to me. Then she walked out without another word. She hasn't called. Tyler has, though, twice. And whatever he wanted to say, I didn't answer. Final update. Emma didn't call the next day, or the day after, or the day after that. But her sister Hannah did. She said, "Brace yourself. Tyler is spiraling." I didn't care, or at least I thought I didn't. But the story that unfolded explained everything I had been confused about for months. And honestly, it was worse than I expected. 1. The real reason the trip was canceled. 3 days after the party, I finally got a text from Emma. Emma, can we talk? Please? I didn't respond. 20 minutes later, she showed up at my apartment unannounced. Again, except this time she didn't storm in. She stood in the hallway like someone waiting for a medical diagnosis. I walked outside to talk. She inhaled shakily and said, Tyler admitted he only canceled because he didn't want me going if there was any chance you'd break up with me. He said it would mess up his plans. I stared at her. Plans for what? She swallowed hard. To finally tell me how he felt. I closed my eyes. So he was planning something. She nodded. He said he was waiting for Vegas to tell me he'd loved me for years. There it was. All the tension, all the weird boundaries, all the constant involvement in our relationship. The possessiveness, the little comments, the manipulation. It suddenly made perfect sense and somehow made everything more pathetic. And what about you? I asked. Did you feel the same? No, she said quickly. No, I swear. I just liked the attention. I didn't think he meant it seriously. I raised an eyebrow. Are you sure? She looked at the ground, whispering. I liked knowing you'd fight for me. When you didn't get mad about the trip. I panicked. I tried to push you. I wanted to see you jealous. I didn't think you'd actually walk away. I didn't say anything. She kept going. And I definitely didn't expect you to invite Hannah. Tyler hates her because he can't manipulate her. She ruins the fantasy he built around me. That part actually made me laugh under my breath, bitterly. 2. Hannah's side of the story. Later that evening, Hannah came over to return a hoodie Emma had borrowed. But really, she came to talk. She sat on my couch and said, You know Emma never loved Tyler. She loved being idolized. You were the real relationship. He was the emotional ego boost. I said nothing. Hannah added, Tyler told her Vegas was going to be a spiritual experience where they'd reconnect. That's why he picked the stupid monkey ride. He wanted pictures of them together, looking like some quirky, adventurous couple. I groaned. She nodded. And the moment he saw I'd be there, he panicked. Because he knew I'd destroy that whole fantasy. Hannah looked at me with this calm, serious expression. You did the right thing. She needed someone to call her bluff. I rubbed my temples. I don't want to be someone's test or lesson. She touched my arm. I know. That's why you need to end this. 3. The last conversation with Emma. Emma came over again the next day. This time she didn't cry. This time she looked tired, deflated, like someone who finally realized the consequences weren't negotiable. We sat at my dining table, the same one we bought together a year ago. She spoke first. You don't deserve what I put you through. I know that. I nodded slightly. I kept Tyler around for the wrong reasons, she said. I used him for validation because I was scared of depending on you. I thought if I kept a backup, I'd never feel trapped. I exhaled sharply. Emma, that isn't a relationship. That's insurance. She winced, but didn't argue. I want to try again, she said finally. Not with Tyler involved. Not with the drama. Just us. I stared at the table for a long time before answering. You didn't just cross a boundary. You built a whole event around crossing that boundary. You told me another man understands you better than I do. You let him plan your entire party. You were ready to spend a weekend with him where he intended to confess feelings for you. She nodded slowly, eyes already welling with tears she was trying to hold back. I know. And when I didn't react the way you wanted, you tried to provoke jealousy. You wanted control. You wanted to test me. She nodded again. Quiet. Shaking. I took a breath. I can't trust you anymore. That was it. She broke. Not loud, not dramatic. Just this soft, heartbreaking, quiet kind of collapse. She whispered, I understand. I think that hurt her more than if I'd yelled. She stood up. Thank you, she said, for being honest. I'm sorry. Truly. And then she left. No screaming. No begging. No guilt tripping. Just silence. The kind that happens when someone finally realizes the game is over. 4. And where things stand now. It's been 2 weeks. I haven't heard from Emma. Not one text. Not one call. She unfollowed me on everything, probably for the best. But you know who did reach out? Tyler. He sent one long message about how I humiliated him, how I ruined his shot, and how I weaponized Hannah. I blocked him. Immediately. Hannah and I still talk a little. Nothing romantic, nothing inappropriate. Just 2 people decompressing after a tornado. She said Emma is grieving something she destroyed with her own hands. Maybe. Maybe not. All I know is this. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not even sad. I'm relieved. Because the truth is this. When someone tells you what they value, attention, jealousy, control, validation games, believe them. When someone shows you their priority list and you're not at the top, walk away. Emma didn't need a fiancé. She needed an audience. And I finally stepped off the stage.